Age UK is a Suffolk-based charity that was subsumed by the Age UK national charity in 2017 because of its financial difficulties. I've chosen this charity because it's a well-known charity brand that has not been able to overcome its problems despite its size. The charity's work is to promote the relief of elderly people in and around the county of Suffolk. Using figures taken from annual reports from the periods 2016 to 2019, I will demonstrate on the following slides how attempts to save this failing charity were ultimately defeated by circumstances beyond its control. In July 2020, the charity ceased operations, stating that Age UK Suffolk has faced a number of financial challenges in recent years, which have been compounded by significant financial losses due to the coronavirus crisis. At current date, the accounts for 2020 and 2021 show as outstanding with the Charity Commission, but the charity does not appear to have been wound up. The charity provides support and welfare services to older people. This means they are human resource and social care funding heavy. They are at the mercy of local authority and government funding models. The small graph to the bottom left demonstrates the declining contribution made by these social care grants. The text in the white box to the left details the breadth of the services the charity offers. These are services that rely on people with associated wages and on costs. These vital services are unlikely to be easily ceased or wound down. Services would likely still need to be provided in line with commitments to government contracts and grants, regardless of whether or not the charity had the resource, but these account for 80% of their expenditure. A significant part of the charity's income is from government grants and contracts, but as you see on the right, these ceased entirely in 2019. Other income is from individual donations, retail sales and events, which will be shown on the next slide. The charity carries ongoing deficits on the balance sheet from 2016 and 2017. These issues predate the records published by the Charity Commission, meaning they cannot be explored further here, but ultimately led to the merger in 2017. A telling note in the annual report refers to a need to operate on a more business-like footing. This would suggest unprofitable or mission work may have placed financial strain on the charity. The merger with the National Age UK charity resulted in a restructure, with redundancies and a scaling down of activities. The charts on this slide demonstrate the charity reducing in both income and expenditure, with a marked drop in 2018 after the merger. In 2018, their total income, which is represented by the orange bar on the graph, fell £960,000 from the scaling back of services, but also from reduced grant funding and reduced turnover in home service and shops. This represented a 39.3% decrease on their income from 2016 to 2017. The reduction is mainly attributed to reduced staff numbers and actions to reduce costs. The previous slide notes a structural deficit necessitating a merger. The deficit of over £440,000 in 2016 had left them in the red entering into 2017. In 2017, they posted a further deficit of £578,000. The merger was essential to stabilise the financial position and avoid insolvency. This resulted in redundancies and service closures, essentially a smaller charity. As can be seen from these graphs, there is a very marked decline in both income and expenditure associated with charitable activities over the period. Overall, this is an activity reduction of £1.64 million, or 60%. If you note the yellow bar representing 2017, the government contracts cease entirely, with 2018 showing a brief uptick in government grants before falling back from £872,000 to £331,000. Charitable activity income in 2018 was £2.07 billion against expenditure of £2.64 million. Trading activities or retail income show a steady decline, which is likely to be in line with a national decline in high street shopping. The COVID-19 pandemic would have called an abrupt halt to Age UK's trading activities with the closure of all but essential shops. Providing in-person services would have presented additional challenges, with service users being clinically vulnerable and likely to be shielding at home. Events would cease entirely, limiting fundraising to donations, legacies and any government grants available. It's likely that telephone services could continue, but without a solid income and balance sheet, it's likely that wage burden would have been considerable. Sadly, the charity ceased operation in the summer of 2020.